finishing torquing this up to 25 Newton meters with a dry gasket, and then we'll measure the idler gear tolerances, see how many thou they are. With the 4 in there, I can just get the 3.5 in as well. You need 2, so I've had to disassemble my feeler gauges. So I can get 3.5 in as well, and it drags on the 4. I can't get the 5 in. So we know we're somewhere around 4 thou, which is great. So on to the next bit. It's time for the camshaft. So just for interest's sake, what I'm doing here is just timing up or checking the timing on the cam that's already in there. Basically, you need one of these, and you set your number 1 and 4 to top dead center, have your dots lined up down here, and then set your disc to a pointer. So I've got a little white pointer there. Set your disc to top, and then move your gauge from your cylinder to inlet number 1 push rod. Obviously you'll need a follower in there for the cam, and then pretty much what you do is you rotate the engine this way until you get to top. So make sure you've got loads of preload on here. You'll need about 6 or 7 mil to take the push rod coming up, because you don't want this to bottom out or top out. And then yeah, just take it from the 0 round to a measurement, let's say 40 or whatever. Take a reading, bring this back, engine back the other way to 0, and then turn the engine, and it will come back the same way because it's going down from the top position down to the same position, so 40 again, and then take another reading and then add them together and divide by 2, and that will give you your cam timing. And this is on about 107, which is actually what it should be. I have got the new tensioner on there, so maybe that is helping get it into correct factory timing. But yeah, the actual timing on this is pretty good. But I'm going to take this off. We're going to fit a new chain, and we're going to change out the camshaft for something a little bit hotter. And yeah, so time to take it apart. Set this back to TDC so we know where I'm at. You can see it's at the top, and down there you'll see the dot, so it's dot to dot lined up. So what I'll do is I'll just take this off here. If you buy this timing, generic timing LDS disc, then this bolt can hold it in place. You don't need anything extra or drill anything. So that's easy, and all we need to do, I can do it by hand, take this out. So you see it fits in there just nicely. So I need to get after this locking tab, take the tensioner away, and then I can take the chain off, and then I can take this gear off. That one won't be coming. Just before I take this apart, I'm just measuring the end float on the cam here. So if I pull on this gear, it will go to 13, which, and we push, we're down at 0. So that's millimeters. So 13 is basically 5 thou. Tiny bit much, but we'll see what it's like when we put the new cam in and torque the nut up, and obviously then we'll have an idea of whether we need to do anything about it, because we need that to be more like 3 thou than 5 thou. Cam's in place. You can probably see down there with its lube all nicely still on it. Basically now we're going to put the cam followers in, or at least this one definitely, but we can put them all in, now because they're not coming out again, and we'll make sure we put nice lube on them as well. Then we're going to refit gasket here, refit the plate. I might paint this part of the engine actually because I've never been able to get to it, and yeah, progress. So the new cam's in, and we're using 65 on this scale. So this top lift is at 0. So we come round one way to 65 and then back up and turn the crank the other way, and it's come round, obviously going down 65. So on our marker here we've got 2 readings. Now add them together and divide them by 2. It's giving me, well, I've done it twice, 104.5 and 105. So we need an offset Woodruff key in here on the crank. Not on the crank, on the camshaft. We need an offset Woodruff key on the camshaft to match the degree of the cam. 107 degrees. So we're a couple of degrees out, so we need a 2 degree offset because we're just going to keep the stock gear. I'm going to take one more set of measurements, just check before I order that Woodruff key. So we just teased him out of the end of the camshaft. So as you can see, parallel sides, so that's a 0 degree or a standard Woodruff key. Because we measured in at 105 on the timing, the LCA for that camshaft is 107. Here we are then, big power upgrade. It won't make a huge difference, I don't think. It's 2 degrees, so it's not like the cam was miles off. You can slightly see there's a step. Oh, you probably can't even see it. You can see this change in surface there. Need to make sure this sits down so only the kind of offset part is above the shaft. So all that bit with the 2 on semicircle needs to be in the camshaft. If it's too tall, we'll just, where my thumb is, or the bottom of the 2, we'll just have to take a little tiny bit off there. But let's see if it fits in nicely. Right, I've tried, but I think you can see the line is way above the edge of the shaft, meaning it sticks out too far. So I've tried to tap it in, but yeah, we're going to have to dress some off the bottom of the semicircle. I'm hoping we're enough now. I don't really want to take any more off. Let's give the gear another go. Right. That seems good to me. Went on without any force. So now, you might remember that we were 15 thou short here, I think it was. So I've got some shims. I'm going to add 3 shims in, and then check that the gears are level. Okay, we've got it on the right way around here. It's coming in with the tensioner fitted and everything at 105, which is actually too short on the recommended lobe center angle for this camshaft. However, builders will often build, to the best of my knowledge, 2 degrees off the recommendation for chain stretch, because that's a brand new chain on there. It may stretch a little. If it only stretches 1 degree, well, that's fine. If it only stretches 1 degree, that's okay, really. You know, we'd be coming up 106 instead of 107. If you have a slightly advanced timing like that, you get a little bit more bottom end and a little bit less top end brake horsepower. So actually, drivability wise, it's not the end of the world to be 1 degree under, as long as you've got the valve to piston clearance, which I don't think is anywhere near a problem on this setup. We're not even using high lift rockers, so yeah, no problem with that. I'm happy to time it in at 105 and just go for that, and that's with a 2-degree Woodruff. I mean, if you really wanted it at the 107, you'd have to get a 4-degree Woodruff key. Alright, well, let's carry on. As always, not an instructional video, just documenting me doing it. But yeah, you pick up a few bits from this, but there's other videos with way more detailed information about how to do all this. Right, let's carry on. Next will be the oil thrower. We'll have to take all the measuring equipment off. Oil thrower, timing cover, etc. And then I want to get this back on the gearbox. Thanks for watching another part of this winter sort of rebuild, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye for now.